Let's go over this week's quiz to see if we can identify some questions that may give you some difficulty. Um, the first question, I give you a graph out of the textbook that shows some economies' relative size in terms of GDP. And the first question I ask is, what percentage of the three largest economies, these three right here, do they represent of the entire world GDP? And I give you world GDP of 80 trillion. Well, the tricky thing is you've got to enter this percentage in numeric form, and there's a number of different ways you could enter a percentage. There could be decimal, there could be percentage, and then I'm asking you to round in a specific way. So let me give you an example here. So let me bring up my calculator. Let's say the three countries' GDP is 21, and that's out of, let's say, 200. Actually, out of 90. And this gives you the percentage in decimal form. Well, I want you to input this in percentage form, and the way you do that is you simply multiply that by 100. And then I want you to round to the 100ths right here, 2 decimal places. And so basically what I want you to do is I want you to take 2 decimal places. So you would enter 2.33. Now, if this was 2.336, you would round this up, and this would be 3.34 if this was rounded up. But here it's pretty simple. 2 decimal places is going to be 23.33, and that's what you would enter here. You would enter 23.33. Okay? Straightforward. And then I'm asking you to do the same thing. In this case, I want you to figure out the bottom 3 as a percentage of the world economy of 80 trillion and enter it in the same manner in terms of rounding to 2 decimal places in percentage form. Questions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all from the textbook. So if you just go to the relevant sections of the textbook, these shouldn't be too tricky to answer. Question number 9 is a data hunt question. I have you go to this website, and I want you to find out the annual GDP growth for 2018. Now, I give you a little hint here. Look for the link that says full release and tables, and you should be able to find 2018 no problem. Another little hint, if you just do a search for 2018 on that website, you should be able to find it pretty easily. And here I ask you to go through the FAQ page for the BEA. That's the Bureau of Economic Analysis. That's the agency that is tasked of measuring GDP. And I ask you basically to go through it and answer this question. Occasionally GDP has to be revised to reflect new methods. What did recent studies find regarding the average revisions in GDP? This should be straightforward in terms of finding it from this webpage, so there's nothing tricky here. So it's a pretty straightforward quiz this week. And of course, if you have any questions, you could stop the quiz. Don't submit it. You could stop it, email me, and I'll get right back to you, and so you could finish that quiz.